But if we can discern intellect, planning, design, and will in an arrowhead or a camera like this, how is it that we can fail to recognize it in something that is infinitely more complex and living? The point I want to make here is that what we have just studied, the human eye, is an insurmountable problem for the evolutionist, because in order for evolution to occur, you have to have a progression from simple to complex occur through the mechanism of mutation. And if the mutation is not beneficial to the organism, then according to the theory, in the next generation, the detrimental mutation would be eliminated. So if theoretically a mutation could produce a cornea, which incidentally the genetic code would prevent in any rational discussion or conversation about this, but I am entertaining a little foolishness just for the sake of teaching. But if a mutation could produce a cornea, it would be eliminated in the next generation according to evolutionary teaching, because it would be totally useless to the organism unless everything was present. A cornea is not an eye. Just like a retina is not an eye. You can't have just a retina. You can't have just a vitreous humor. You can't have just a lens. You can't have just an iris. You can't have just a cornea. You've got to have everything working together, plus the visual, plus have it all connected to the visual cortex. Unless everything is in place, working, nothing works. It all either works together or it doesn't work, period. Not only can an accidental mutation not produce a human eye, it can't produce any eye. Flies have eyes. Flies have compound eyes that are very different from ours. And there is no slow process of evolution that can explain even a housefly's eyes, because there are no primitive eyes. Now, the evolutionists like to talk about the octopus and how that it has light sensors on its skin. Well, that's fine, good, but the octopus also has eyes, 2 of them, symmetrically placed. So that doesn't give any evidence, that gives no explanation or indication of the evolution of eyes. They are all complex. There are no primitive eyes. And each species has its own characteristic distinctions. The turtle, for example, this is just one. We could talk the dragonfly's eyes. If you ever looked at insects' eyes, well, they're just amazing. Sadie, can you find one of those pictures of the dragonfly's eyes or any other insect eyes over there? They're hexagon in shape, like a honeycomb is. And there can be anywhere from, I think, 6,000 to about 28,000 of these hexagon shapes coming out in a fly's eyes. And each one, even among insects, they're all distinct. But I was going to talk about turtle eyes for a second. Now, the reason that I'm saying among the reasons I'm saying that this could not have evolved from one eye, eye that evolved into all kinds of different eyes, is because all different eyes are different. They have very individual and distinct qualities that are unique to the species. Turtles, for example. Turtles, incidentally, let me show you this. Talking about, I just got a few things I brought from home here. Turtles, here's turtle shells. And turtle shell, this is a box turtle, as you can see. Beautifully designed, very symmetrical, as you can see. This one here has, thank you, Sadie. I'll look at that in just a moment. Look at the. I hope you can see the symmetry of the plates and the bones and how perfectly they fit together and how perfectly they are rounded and sculpted, and have this little helmet like rim that goes out. That's just a box turtle. And here's another one. But turtles are very interesting creatures, and they were designed that way. But the eyes of a turtle are such that if their pond, they're living in a pond, and their pond dries up, did you know that they will all, if a pond dries up, you'll see all the turtles in that pond heading directly the same direction. They'll all go one way or another to the next pond, the pond that is closest to them. How is that? Can you imagine how they would know where the pond is that's closest to them? Well, they have an eye that is capable of seeing infrared light that comes from the sun, bounces off of the pond, and looks like a laser beam probably to them that shoots back up, reflects off of the earth on the pond, and the reflection goes back up. They can see the reflection that goes back up, and they know exactly where to go, and it's been observed many times. So turtles are amazing. I mean, turtle eyes are amazing, and the whole turtle is amazing, and every creature that God created is amazing like that. It has very, very individual and unique things that are unique to that creature. Well, now I want to make some more problems for the evolutionists at this point, and it's not very hard because all the evidence points so conclusively to intelligent design. We've talked about some of the workings of one eye. What would be the chances of one eye evolving from non-living matter by blind chance? And by the way, non-living matter doesn't look for a way to improve itself. But I'm being generous, and I'm granting the non-living matter, although they can't tell me the origin of the non-living matter or the natural forces. In other words, I could ask the real question by saying, what are the chances of one eye coming from nothing? That's the real question. But you see, I'll go ahead and give them the matter because it doesn't matter. You still can't get an eye. I think you would agree that the answer is 0. There is no chance. There is no chance to get an eye from non-living matter by blind chance, because the more complex a thing is, the more remote the possibility that it could have occurred by chance. And that is a well-established law. You just don't get complexity in design from randomness. But allow me to multiply problems once more. Now, if it is impossible to get one eye from any slow evolutionary process, what would be the possibility of 2 identical eyes evolving in the same head that work together to perceive exact distances, such as you need to thread a needle, depth perception it's called? So if it's impossible to get one eye from blind chance, 2 eyes, more than double the odds against it, right? Let me multiply some more problems. What would be the possibility of one ear that is equally as complex as one eye evolving in the same head? Again, the mechanism of mutation still being the only explanation for such. And if there was ever any chance that one ear could evolve, what would be the chances of another ear identical to it, to the first, evolving from non-living matter by blind chance on the other side of the head, symmetrically positioned and admirably placed? Well, it's still 0. The chances of that are still 0. There's no chance. And you could see why evolutionists continue to conveniently overlook these facts.